That's what this is all about, is it? You're gonna take our people to the edge of extinction with a war with the humans.
All these miscreants know is murder. Look how they treat each other. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna murder them all.
You don't understand the first thing about humans. They're at their most formidable when they're threatened.
That's right. We are at our most formidable when we are threatened. Hey, everyone. What is going on out there? How are you all doing? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Just My Opinion. We really, really, really do appreciate it. Guys, we are talking Secret Invasion, episode 3, titled Betrayed. Fury uncovers a rebel Skrull plot. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to let you know that this is going to be a spoiler-filled recap, okay? We are going to spoil this up, down, left, right, in, and out as if you've already seen it. You have been warned. And as you see, I'm not saying myself, I said we, because I got my guest, Mr. Lamont Tyson with Get a Life Game. Sir, how are you doing today? How are you doing?
Good, man. Happy to be here.
That's
what's up,
man.
everybody? So happy to share this moment with my brother, Behavior. I haven't been with this brother since I was in Texas, and that's too long.
Yeah, man. I was about to ask you, like, when is the last time you've been here? Because I don't even remember, man. That's crazy. I know life just happens, man, and we get busy, you know, and you know, we got to take care of family and priorities and stuff like that. But you know, how long? What was the last video we done together? For real, I can't even remember.
It was some power video, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, okay.
Maybe the finale, something like that.
I got you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, again, if you don't know, this is Lamont Tyson. We're actually multi-streaming on my channel and his as well. So if you're watching through my channel, subscribe to Lamont. Hey, if you're watching on Lamont's channel, this is your first time seeing me, please subscribe to my channel. This is my brother right here. We love collabing. If you love what we have to say about today's episode of Secret Invasion, episode 3, you can follow both of us on social media. Our handles are on the screen. Also, his information is in the description box of this video. And like always, he is on my channel tab right there, top row in the middle. And this is what the brother's channel looks like right here. He is on his way to 150,000 subscribers. So please subscribe to his channel. Show him some love so he can reach that next milestone. My man, we both love comic book stuff, man. We both love it. And we both love Marvel. You know, you even repping the hat right there. We are in episode 3 of the Secret Invasion, Lamont. And to be honest with you, I have no idea how you feel about the show so far. Like, I don't know. We really haven't talked about it, man. And so I know we're going to get into the nitty gritty with the show, with episode 3. But before we do, I just want to hear your opinion on the first 2 episodes. And shout out to Rewind That with Miss K. Hey, what's going on, ma'am? How you doing? I know, I love it. Matter of fact, I'm tripping, bro. I knew something was off. I didn't even shout out my people. Look, I'm tripping. Before we get started, we got 37 people watching. What's going on, Samra Barney? How you doing? We also have Rashawn Nagier in the building. What's going on?
What's up,
Anakin Not Vader. What's good? Cleve 17. What's up? Hinder Sonic is in the building. Baltimore in the house. I love it. And like I said, we'll wind that with Miss K. We're gonna collab one day, Miss K. We are. I promise. Who else we got? Peace Be Free is in the building. We got Mama Avery in the building. What's going on, Mama? Love you. Theo Manning in the building. What's going on? And LD. Yes, sir. It is time. Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it. Thumbs up the video. Please. Thumbs up the video. And just real quick before we get started,
here comes a new challenger.
And guess what, guys? We have a new challenger backstage. Who is it? Let's see. Yes, there he is, creating a trio. It's Mr. One Take Big Dog, aka Vegeta. What's good, sir? How you doing, man? How you doing?
Bro, man.
Can you hear me?
Man. Sorry for being late. Sorry, man. Yeah, I can hear you. You hear
It's
me?
all good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I like the secret invasion that you got in the background as well. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this is One Take Big Dog. That's all good, man. Appreciate you. I was just doing our little introductions and stuff like that, man, and all of that, and shouting out everybody. And before we get started, I was telling Lamont, I was like, man, we're in episode 3, but I don't even know how he felt about the first 2 episodes. I was very blessed to see those early, and I know everybody else is catching up, and so we really haven't talked about it because Lamont usually does recaps himself, but just like I said, life happens and sometimes things get away from you. So before we get into episode 3, Betrayed, Lamont, tell me how you feeling about the first 2 episodes, your expectations going in, and then One Take, I want to hear from you, and then we're going to get into this nitty gritty for episode 3. Lamont, floor is yours.
First of all, ladies and gentlemen, I'm blessed to be in the presence of such greatness with these 2 young brothers. I had a chance to meet them individually. And we talked some Marvel, and I took them both to these exquisite steak houses and got them to eat. And I wish they could have been in the same building, but this will have to do for now because we're breaking bread over Marvel. B. Avery loved every single minute of both episodes. Just 3 episodes in, by far, this is my favorite of the Disney Plus series. This does so much to connect what's going to be going on that we're interested in the next phase of Marvel. This feels like the phase 2, phase 3 Marvel that I love and that I was used to. And I'm thrilled at the direction that they've gone with this so far. So if you ask me, if I'm scoring 0 to 10, 10 being the absolute best, this thing gets a 9.2 for me so far.
Is that the whole show or just this episode or what?
All 3 episodes combined.
Okay. What's your name? One Take. How you feeling, bro? How you feeling about the first 2 episodes and all that?
Yeah. I'm what's up, Tyra? I'm actually right there with you, Lamont. I won't say it's my favorite now, but if it keep going on in this same trajectory, it'll definitely probably be my favorite. The thing I like about it the most is the tone, because I know a lot of times some Marvel stuff kind of feel like repetitive in tone, but to me, this is one of those situations where I don't quite know exactly what's going to happen. You kind of like always on your toes because you never know who's an ally, who's an enemy. And at the same time, they're so like you actually feel the weight of the stakes, and they make sure that you never get into a moment where you just like you can chill or take a sigh of relief or anything like that, because something else is always gonna happen. And I'm a sucker for great villains, and I definitely think we got one in Gravik.
Okay. Yeah, Gravik is pretty cool. Kingsley Benedict is doing a pretty decent job so far. I don't know though. I'm still not 100% convinced with his reasoning. No, I mean he killed 2,000 innocent human beings just because he don't have a home to stay in. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do nothing to him. Like why do all of that? And I'm pretty sure there had to have been some bigger fallout between him and Nick Fury at some time that I hope we get to see. But before we go on, man, I just want to say this: I love the first 2 episodes. I thought it was the strongest out of the MCU thus far, or at least tied with some other ones. I mean, but I love the first 2 episodes of Loki, but then some of those episodes has been disappointing for me. But I will say this, and this one may be where we disagree. I really wasn't feeling episode 3, man. I was a bit disappointed about it. I mean, we kind of got a nice cliffhanger towards the end to where I'm like, man, I'm really excited for episode 4, but I didn't really like the way they handled this episode, and the main reason is the handling of Nick Fury. I kind of thought that they really undermined him, especially with his conversation with Talos in the car when they was on their way to Bob's house. Do y'all know what I'm talking about off the top of your head, or because once I look confused?
Yeah.
Okay. That really bothered the F out of me. You know what I'm saying? And so I can't wait to hear y'all's pushback. And you know, I'll save it till we get to that point right there. But since one take you was talking about the villain, Gravik, I do like him, Kingsley Benadier. Starting off, he has hired these 3 henchmen to infiltrate the Navy base so they can, you know, get in this submarine right here. And early on, man, I want to hear y'all geek out. I was trying to get as much screen grabs as I could, but he has the council right here that Talos was kicked out of, and that is Shooter McGavin. Y'all know who Shooter McGavin is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Shooter McGavin. I'm being stupid. But they talked about the super Skrulls right here, man. They're getting the DNA, and they're talking about, hey, man, if the Avengers come through, we're going to be ready. We're going to up our powers, and we're going to be able to trade powers. And he was like, super Skrulls. The humans going to be blowing each other up and fighting, and we're just going to be sit back in the cut. And when they bleed and legs are broken, we just going to come in and superpower. One take, man, how you feeling about that opening the super Skrulls and them talking about all the powers and stuff like that, man? Did it get you excited? Were you tingling on your fingertips and all that? How'd you feel, sir? How'd you feel?
Now, as y'all know, y'all two know way more about Marvel than I do. So I actually didn't know too much about the Super Skrulls. I literally I had a video on my TikTok last week after last week's episode talking about like what are the Skrulls limits and capabilities, and then people obviously enlightened me on like the Super Skrulls and like how much more that they can do. So when I heard about this week, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I kind of felt like he was going in that direction, but like to see it is definitely like it makes them feel like even more of a threat. The fact that one of the things I always thought we was gonna have or we would been able to see is the fact that you be able to detect a Skrull or like a Skrull detector, even after, I mean, since they've been there 30 years, I thought there was something that would be around, but since it's not, that just makes them that much more dangerous. And so the fact that you have them being able to transform into anybody and take them and have their memories, and not only that, you're giving them even more powers on top of everything that they already have, kind of like sets up something quite a lot bigger, to the point of I don't even see how Nick Fury and the people he's allied himself with are going to be able to stop him, which I like, because I like when you kind of like tilt everything in the favor of the villains.
Okay. Well, Lamont, how you feeling, man?
Loved it, man. One take said it. I know Marvel Secret Invasion. This is one of my absolute favorite stories they've done. And I love the way they're doing this adaptation that will eventually make the big screen, doing it on TV with Nick Fury. Super Skrulls are something you guys are going to have to be reckoned with. These jokers, not only right now you're seeing what a Skrull can do in terms of mimicking a human. Wait until you see that they have the ability to mimic some of the powers of super people. They showed you in this episode, Gravik has already done start tinkering with his DNA and has already got Wolverine's heel. Oh, oops.
Go ahead.
Never mind. Let me get back to the normal. Someone has already tinkered with DNA to begin becoming a super Skrull already. And I enjoyed the way they set this thing up. However, 3 of those henchmen, I can go ahead and tell you right now. The black dude, he's going to be a traitor, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Hey, I'm cool with it, man. I think his name was Beto. But let me see if I got an image of him. No, I don't think so. But yeah, there they go. There there. Okay. Yeah. Lamont, man, how you feeling about Fury clapping Skrull cheeks, man? You know, in the last episode too. You know, he was with Vera from the beginning of episode 2 to introduce him to Gravik, and at the end he pull up at the crib, you know, and it's New York City, 1998, and they are in this, you know, they passing notes, holding hands, and you know she was feeling him, but he didn't even know who she was at first. Like, Vera, is that you? And to be honest with you, I watched this episode twice. I still don't understand where she got her face from, because I think he even asked her, and she kind of deflected, and I was like, "Hey, I don't work for you," and all that. But one of the questions I had, man, towards the end of episode 2, I was like, "Man, she's clearly a Skrull. We saw her transform, but does Fury know that she's a Skrull?" And the answer to that question is yes. she is a Skrull. So Fury has intergalactic passions for green people. I have so many questions, but she also charged his ass up too, and I don't blame her. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you spoke to Gravik? Why are you asking me that, Fury? You left. Okay, I thought we was gonna put our lives back together when you came back from the blip, but no, silly me. I was living a pie in the sky dream. You want to go up in your spaceship for years and leave me down here? I felt like a widow. And I gotta say, Fury, if you got a woman down on Earth, what in the world made you think that you can just go post up in the spaceship for 3-4 years and not check in? Like, you can't even do that for a couple of days, let a few a year. So I don't know what you just thought you was gonna go back and get in the nookie like nothing happened, like you just went to the store. I don't get it. But yeah, Lamont, man, how'd you feel about Miss Vera here and her introduction to Fury? And look at the face. She is a frustrated black woman, and I don't blame her. But how you feeling, sir? How you feeling?
I thought, wow. Priscilla, all I can say about Priscilla is like this, man. Look, first of all, I have so many questions about Skrulls and their sensibilities when it comes to sex. I got so many questions because I want to know. First of all, I want to know, is there anybody watching this, brothers anyway, that would clap some cheeks, get the panty draws of the Skrull, knowing that they are a Skrull? So I want to know, how does that work? You know, but I'm gonna save that for another time. She has some legitimate argument to be mad, but at the same time, maybe sitting in that spaceship that they've already told us, that was kind of like therapy for Nick Fury. I mean, forget this man did just help save the world. He did just get blipped away for 5 years. He could have made a phone call.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he is up there with other Skrulls, and they can turn themselves faces into whatever he want them to look like. He has reckless abandon for wherever he wants to reside his penis at, obviously, because like you said, B. Avery, he went intergalactic. So maybe it was therapy or cognitive reconditioning for Nick Fury to stay up there in that spaceship. But he definitely should have checked in. That was not a boss move. And at the end of the day, I think Nick Fury was depressed up there.
I got you. One sec. What you got, man? And also let me know if you would smash the Skrull cheeks too.
Man, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was listening to you, Lamont, but as soon as you posed the question, I started thinking to myself, like, man, would I really hit that ass? I ain't gonna lie though. You got a Skrull that can turn into anybody, any woman you want them to be. So,
but she's still a Skrull, one Tait.
Hey, I can't see that. I can't see that. Yeah.
But wait a minute. But what if you put your penis in there to feel like sandpaper?
See, that's different. That's different. You're gonna test that out first. You're gonna test that out first. And if it's just like humans, oh, we good. We in the door. Well, let me get to this. I didn't know if he knew she was a Skrull. That was one of my biggest questions, because I was also wondering. I'm like, she ages. I'm like, so how does she know how she's going to look? Well, the person she's like impersonating, how they're going to look a couple of years down the line. I'm kind of wondering like how that works as far as like Skrull's transformation and stuff like that. Not only that, it was kind of weird that he was dating a Skrull. I mean, not Skrull. Skrull. I didn't quite see like that being a thing, but also him being. I completely forgot about the fact that he was blipped away and then left. Like that is disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? For like anybody, literally any relationship, to like leave, you come back after this person's mourned you, thinking you never gonna be back, and you go off for even longer. So whatever she has planned, I kind of feel like he brought it upon himself because he didn't come back and like check in or take her up there. Like, why can't you bring her with you?
Good point.
That's your boo. Like, that's your, like, you know what I'm saying? That you just really need to be away. And it's not like you were away from her because she was a Skrull, because you up there with other Skrulls. It just didn't make sense logically for him to do that, and her being disrespected is, I mean, ain't nothing like a woman scoring. I definitely think he planted the seeds for, you know what I'm saying, the possible betrayal that, you know, he might face later.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
man.
be
Make a
able
nice choice of
one take.
words.
Do y'all feel like one reason he didn't communicate with her was when he came back and he was up in the spaceship, maybe he was starting to get intel that so many people had been infiltrated down on Earth that maybe he even thought that she'd been infiltrated?
It's possible.
I would say that if he didn't already know she was a Skrull, though, like the fact he knew that she was a Skrull, and like it's the fact that he left immediately and went up there. Like he went up there immediately. Like he didn't. Like, it didn't seem like he wasn't spending any time with her. So I can't even give him that. I can't even give him a pass for that.
Yeah, because he did, because Spider-Man Far From Home came out in 2019, and he was up there doing that movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was right after Endgame. You know what I'm saying? So you know, yeah, y'all let us know what y'all think in the chat. How y'all feeling about Miss Emilia Clarke? How y'all feeling about her so far? One take, let us have it. How you feeling? Because Gravik don't trust her, man. He trying to get some information and figure out, you know, who the rat is, you know, who's leaking information. And so you know, we know what happens to her towards the end of the episode, and we're definitely gonna talk about that. But yeah, how you feeling about her so far, bro? The UN plane will be at Neptune's coordinates $2,200. How you feeling, bro? How you feeling?
You talking to me?
Yeah, about Emilia Clarke.
All right, yeah. To me, listen, I love Emilia Clarke, and I think she's good in this role. But my only thing is that she never came off like I'm gonna put it like this: if she was cheating on me, I would know it. Like I feel like she it like at all. Like maybe she should have dated more and like stepped out on her boyfriend and got some lessons or something on how to like to move smooth. But like even her demeanor, like the way she carried herself, it's just you always knew. Like I feel like I can watch parts of the show. I can just only watch her scenes and she was up to something, because she just wore. It's like she wore it on her face, and he was just looking for the proof. Like he suspected it, but he just needed the proof. And like, yeah, she wasn't good at playing nothing out. Like, and I don't know if that was intentional or it's just how it came off. I really don't know.
I got you, Lamont. Where you at on that, man?
First, I want to tell everybody, B. Avery does accept super chats, ladies and gentlemen. Get that man some cash in here immediately. Get them likes up. This brother works harder than anybody I know, and he is more than worthy of likes, super chats, subscriptions. This boy stay where he encourages me because he works so hard. Now, Emilia Clarke and her character as Talos' daughter,
Gaia.
I really think that they haven't given her a lot to do, and I think that her demeanor is exactly what they want from her, because I remember in one of these previous episodes, she was snooping around figuring out what they was actually doing in that lab. I do believe she has taken some of that serum already, and when the stuff hit the fan, she's not going to be dead, and you guys are going to see her as a super Skrull. And if we keep in mind the way all this fallout happened, all this happened because Nick Fury wasn't able to come through in a timely enough manner for the Skrulls. So when it all hits the fan, their bad behavior of the Skrulls that are rebelling is going to be put on Nick Fury, but it's not Nick Fury's fault. I feel like he did the best he could, and I think that she is going to play a big role on the big screen being a super Skrull. She's not dead, nor do I think Hill is dead.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think she did either. We're gonna get to that though. And Blue Exodus, Mr. Bobby Wright, been a subscriber for a minute. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, man. I do appreciate it. That does go a long way. Now, one of my favorite parts of the episode. Let's get to this. So they come out. She Gravik. This is so obvious what he was doing. You know, giving her the intel just to see if it's going to leak somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And so that's exactly what he was doing right there. But they show up to this venue, and they got these leaders of the land from World War One, and they're talking about this. And he not Gravik, but Talos wanted a parlay or a parlor, so where they can just talk it out. You know, no blood, no knives, but one ended up coming out anyway. Now, of course, we saw this scene in the trailer, in the marketing, and I played it at the very beginning of this episode. I mean, this was all over the marketing, but to me, it still hit home, man. It was still effective. It was still pretty like, oh shit, there are Skrulls everywhere. And I do like the side of Talos because we did get to see him fight in episode 1, but that just really didn't. I mean, it was nice, but I really felt like I got the intensity from Talos doing this scene right here that I didn't think he had inside himself. And that just goes to show, man, you can't be putting people's daughters' names in your mouth, man. That's just a trigger right there. So I like that he was ready to box and throw down. You know what I'm saying? That was lovely. But yeah, they all changed it to the Skrulls. You know, Gravik did his homework. But man, this was just so badass to me when he stabbed him in the hand right here and was about to snap. He just didn't care. Like, leave my daughter's name out of your mother effing mouth. I loved it, man. One of my favorite parts of the episode. Lamont, how did you feel about the scene? And because you were speaking about it earlier too, but go ahead.
Oh, you know, one thing that I've liked about this, I've liked the dialogue back and forth. The dialogue has been just as intense as some of the action scenes in this thing. From last week, I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys, but that exchange between War Machine and Nick Fury, priceless. Nick Fury and his relationship with Talos, love it. Sometimes they push it a little too far, like the old married couple, but they tend to rein it back in pretty good, so I've liked that. This exchange with Talos and Gravik, Talos is kind of, he was supposed to be the senior leader of all the Skrulls trying to get here to Earth and find them a home. And it wasn't happening fast enough for the rebellion. And so now this has turned into be one of them things that happened when, I'm glad they used the parallel of the First World War. And I'm gonna break this down for y'all in terms of what happened here. We had English settlers come to America. They're natives here. You know, there's some of the natives befriended some of the settlers. All right. Settlers get here like, tasty America. We might need to keep this shit for ourselves. But then you had the sympathizer who was friends with the natives like, nah, man, we can't take their land. That's Talos. But because he's got 1 million Skrulls down there, and they done said, you know what? We don't care what you're trying to do here. We want this place for ourselves, and we know exactly how to handle the super-powered beings. We're going to start a war with the humans who don't deserve this place because all they do is fight. And we got something to kick the ass of the Avengers and whoever else. And they showed that power, the beginnings of that power, when Gravik got stabbed right in the finger. And I was waiting for somebody to pull that knife off the table, B. Avery. It didn't happen. Instead, they let Gravik pull his hands back, show that extremitous DNA he's got in his blood. He healed like Wolverine to let y'all know it's about to go down. And
yes, sir.
Last point. We've seen what it takes to push Talos' buttons and make him go over the edge. So don't be surprised if Talos makes a huge mistake because of his anger and his vitriol when someone mentions his daughter, because we've seen the same behavior from him in this same episode later on.
Yes, sir. One take, where you at on this scene right here, man? Were you impressed or like, it was kind of meh, you know, not that big a deal, you know?
Okay, I think I'm kind of both. If I'm being honest, I really did love the dialogue between the two. I like the callback. Lamont just explained it. The similarities is actually what's going on now and what happened, you know, years ago. Now, the thing when Talos stood up and then all the other Skrulls turned into Gravik, I was just like, was that just our way of letting them know y'all Skrulls? I don't feel like y'all had to turn into him unless it was a situation in which you know, they had got separated and he would have been trying to find the real one. Yeah, I see if you do in that situation. But if you just simply threaten him, y'all, what am I going to be more intimidated because y'all look like him? That was right there in it. But the moment it did hit was the moment where he stabbed him. And at that moment, you had already know you were surrounded by all of his people. But that still didn't matter to you because he played that one card you don't play with, my child.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I don't care who in here with you right now. I just hurt you. And obviously, Talos don't know that he can heal. He don't know that, so he thought like that. He thought that was gonna be permanent. So I love that showing from Talos. So don't get me wrong now. Him sliding his hand out of there, I understand that this man can heal, bro. I do. That's just extra, dog. That still hurt. I don't like that. Like, just take it out, bro. You could have just took it out and then show, like, hey, your hand up and watch the heal. You want to slide. You want to be on some John Wick stuff where you slide. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Stop. Ain't that serious, bro? That's serious. But yeah.
One thing, he was also probably trying to test out the abilities of this new stuff running in his veins too. He's probably trying to test it out because
what if he wasn't to work like he wanted it to?
Oh man,
he would have just kicked the bucket.
Yeah, but I had a hurt hand.
Yeah, he'd be walking around more like this.
Yeah,
thing get infected, bro.
Yeah, man. I hear you, man. I hear you. I hear you. But next, right before this, I think that was Gaia that was bumping into Talos to give him the phone for the submarine. And this right here is where things kind of dip for me, man. Talos trying to eat his fruit and toast, and Nick Fury comes in here. And Nick Fury still has a valid reason to be upset. But Talos and his feelings like, bro, you lied to him. He thinking it's a handful of Skrulls on Earth and it's 1 million, not 100, not 1,000, but 1 million. Do you understand this number? Yes, that's crazy. But Talos is in his feelings like, I didn't like this right here, man. Tell me, help me, Talos. Say to me, help me, Talos, because I'm useless without you. That grinded my gears, man. I did not like it. I'm a comment on that a little bit more. And also, we got Miss MI6 agent over here, the British English version of Valentina. And she feeling some type of way because she has the hoot, the owl that Nick Fury put the surveillance bug on. And she called it Nicholas Fury herself. But they're getting it on. And, she does give him the intel. And also, I want to hear from y'all on this. That she said they have their own infiltration problem that they're dealing with as well. So I'm passing it to you, Lamont. How did you feel about this scene right here, as well as Nick Fury saying, "Hey, I need your help because I'm useless without you"?
It's showing. They are actually showing you. We're used to Nick Fury being connected any way he wants to be through the MCU. They are showing you a character who has been mentally defeated, who has been physically defeated, and is now single-handedly trying to stop an invasion of terrestrials that can turn into any human beings. And in some part, he's probably feeling deep in his loins like he has something to do with it, because the promises he made, here we are 30 years later, and he hasn't fulfilled those promises yet. So a part of him is probably feeling like, I created some of this issue, and now all the allies I've built in the past, the few that know there's a problem going on, I'm starting to lose them. And so if this all hits the fan, the legendary Nick Fury is going to be thrown under the bus because he didn't alert enough world leaders what was happening. And the only real allies he has right now that they're showing us on screen is Talos. And that's why he went back to Talos begging. Now, granted, I felt like Nick Fury needed a humbling. I did. I know you didn't like it, but I felt like he needed a humbling because he has no one else to call B. Avery. He needs Talos, and Talos knows it. And Talos reminded him that he was just Nick Fury, the man passing out Gatorade at S.H.I.E.L.D. until him and his crew did all these covert missions to get him to be the Nick Fury eye patch wearing leader of the Avengers, best spy to ever live. He needed his help just as much as he needs their help now. And I was glad that they got back together because I do like their dynamic.
Before I pass to you, one take, I love their dynamic as well. I think they have a great relationship. I think they have great chemistry on screen. It seems like they are really friends. You know, it seems like they hung out outside of the show, or they went to school together. Their kids played together, the YMCA, whatever. But it still made me mad. It still bothered me. And right after this, one take, and I know I'm throwing a lot at you. That was Rod in the car. And this is the part that pissed me off the most. When they're going to Bob's house. And we find out, bro, that this is Nick mother effing Fury. Okay. Like you said, he has connections to everywhere. A black man at that, with one eye. And they disappointed me with the flirting thing too. But this man, it's like Nick Fury. He can do anything that he wants across the globe. Everybody knows and respects him. And it's like, man, it's just so nice to see this black man, Samuel Jackson, with all this power, authority, and resources and respect. But in one episode of Secret Invasion, they want to dilute that and say that it was all because of Talos. Like every promotion you got was because of us. Every terrorist organization that you stopped was because of us. You could not do it because of us. And that really just undermined Nick Fury to me. And that I did not like it. You were just a bench warming nobody in a dumpy field. And your first promotion was because of me, because of us. I just, and the thing about it is it made it seem like, and just in real life, and that, you know, black people cannot survive except for unless they have white people behind them, backing them up. And I just didn't like that feeling. And it really bothered me the way they diluted his character, undermined his character. Am I tripping, one take, or do you see where I'm coming from?
Well, I wouldn't say you tripping, and I also do see where you coming from. I don't think I personally agree with that. Because I think I'm of the mindset of like, one, when we're in the restaurant and he's telling them like, yo, tell me you need, like, you know what I'm saying? Because Nick Fury has definitely been this person we put on this like ultimate pedestal as to where like he can do anything or get anything done. He always know what's going on, where it's going on at. At the same time, I think we kind of like forget that like there has to be ways he knows these things. He has to always be connected and kind of and he has to have somebody in some room to like feed him this information. He can't be everywhere at once. He's not just the most tech savvy person in the world. He's obviously not friendly. So this man kind of like made a name off off relationships. You know what I'm saying? And so I mean, it's literally how the situation with Olivia Colman. That's another relationship that he has. He wouldn't have got that information if he didn't know her. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just like a part of who he is. And the scene in the restaurant, I was just like, yeah, Nick, don't get me wrong. Talos didn't tell him he got 1 million Skrulls on here for sure. But bro, we've been waiting 30 years and you ain't made no moves for us. Most we got some of us down here, some of us still just sitting in space. Like, all right, so what you think gonna happen? You know, obviously some people gonna get mad and invade. So I wasn't even tripping about him. Talos like, yo, like, tell me you need me, bro. Because I kind of feel underappreciated because even that car ride you talking about, Nick was kind of like trying to like flex a little bit. Like, yo, I'm Nick, I did this. I'm like, hold up. You kind of forgetting who helped you. Like, I get it. You are Nick Fury and you are great. You did a lot of things. But you just look me in my face and just act like we had nothing to do with any of the things that you've done.
Nothing.
Come on, bro. Like, you just kicking us to the. You make me feel like I'm nothing, even though I've helped you a lot. So yeah, don't get me wrong. I get that part where you kind of seem like he don't get where he's at without them. But the fact of the matter is, everybody need help to get to somewhere where they at. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't think any of us would be as big or as good as what we do if we didn't have each other, like helping each other out, you know what I'm saying, on videos and, you know what I'm saying, motivating each other, like keep going, all of that. So like Talos just like, dog, don't forget about me. Like, don't forget about us. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't, yeah, man. I think Nick kind of, And I do love at times with these strong, powerful characters, Nick Fury, are broken down and like they really don't have a lot. So it's a little bit tougher for them because before that you just think they can do everything. So now it seems more difficult. Now you as a watcher, somebody like observing, you really want to see how they're gonna get out of this. They don't have this connection. Everything is going against them, and I think to me it just makes it that much more interesting.
Man.
Even when I'm out, I'm in.
And you wonder why you're out.
I'm Nick Fury. Even when I'm out, I'm in.
So, I hear you one take. But when I first saw that scene last week, I'm like, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's Nick Fury. Even when I'm out, I'm in. I'm like, put some respect on his name. But then they took the respect away. Rashad Walker, where you at? Where your comment at? Hold on. I just brought it up. I agree. And one take said the same thing. Everybody do need help. But they could have made it to where Talos helped him. To me, that made it seem like he did everything. Like, can it be like 50-50 or something? But I don't want to beat a dead horse. But you made a good point. One take. I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you.
Not to mention, Nick Fury wouldn't have that precious Priscilla as a wife. Remember, Talos also turned him on to that Skrull booty.
That sandpaper booty is
sandpaper vagina.
That is not confirmed. Okay.
Gotcha.
Not confirmed.
Well, one take gonna find out for us and come back and report.
Though. I'm just saying, Skrulls do look a little slimy, so I ain't like that.
Man. And I don't know when the last time y'all been to a zoo, but a Komodo dragon and a lizard have a smell. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm not being racist. I'm not being racist to the Skrulls or nothing like that, but that's all I'm gonna say.
That sounds disgusting. But anyway, we're gonna keep going. So they at the crib now with Bob, and they're trying to infiltrate this right here. And guys, something interesting. I'm gonna see if y'all noticed this, but they're trying to get the codes. They go in here, they're doing the kidnapping. He don't want to shoot the missile and all of that, but he gave himself away because he called him Nick. Like, I'm sorry, Nick, I was just busy trying to beat this Skrull's ass or whatever, and that's what gave it away. Were y'all able to link in I'm gonna say that to the end. Lamont, how'd you feel about that? And also, this whole thing right here, Gaia coming in here. And let me ask you this, bro. What would happen if she would have shot him in the head? Or any of these people right here? Or she turned the power off, she shot him in the head. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Skrull that took over their body and that downloaded their memories, would they pass out? Would they forget everything? Because me, I'm more of an expert on the cartoons than the comics. And I know in the cartoons they had to keep the bodies open and available like this so they could get keep their memories or whatever. Is that consistent? Like how you feeling about all that? And also this whole little thing right here with calling him Nick instead of Fury and all that hot jazz. How you feeling, sir? How you feeling?
They are very consistent with the comics too. The only difference is if it was a Super Skrull, it wouldn't matter. Once you've been absorbed, you've been absorbed. So they have planned that to the hilt. I've enjoyed that the way they've done both parallels, and the whole missile thing. There's mutiny going on within that whole right there on the ship. There's almost literally a mutiny going on because Homeboy really didn't want to help.
Right.
He didn't. But through it all, he wound up doing it. And at the end of the day, think about what it took to get Talos motivated enough to kill this cat. He had to get on him about his daughter.
Yeah.
When he got on him about his daughter,
I forgot about that.
He ended the life. And then he called up his daughter to get the information he could have done. And if I'm Nick Fury, I'm thinking, why the hell you ain't just do that in the first place? You got me here on the edge of 10 seconds. You could have done that from jump. Unless the daughter was a secret from Nick Fury that Talos wanted to keep. Because remember, it started out, everybody was down for Nick Fury back in the day. The whole group that was there was down for Nick Fury. And over these 30 years, Nick Fury hasn't helped elevate their species to anywhere else, nor has he put any damn protocols in place for what happens if the Skrulls go rogue. And now we got people all over the place terraforming folks' brain into their brain, about to blow up a nuclear code, which we thought at the moment. And so I enjoyed it. Like I said, this is one I enjoyed this episode. And I think that there's a whole lot left to answer for. And some people are even saying, before I kick it to one take, Rhodes is a Skrull.
Yes. We're going to talk about that. Yes. One take. Where you at, sir? Where you at?
Okay. Can I pick up with the last thing you said and go backwards?
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, okay. Because I went back and I looked at somebody pointed out to me when him and War Machine were having that conversation, he called him Nick. I was like,
yep.
I was about to bring it up.
I didn't realize it last week but like I think after watching the episode, somebody brought it up to me and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that pretty much confirmed that he was a Skrull. That was another thing that happened in this episode that I was just like, yeah, he's definitely a Skrull. But one of the things, the whole nuclear code, the reason I think his first move was not to go to Gaia was because if he goes to Gaia, that's going to leave her open. And then she would, what's her name? Gravik would immediately know who it is and she would have to get out there. Because if they get the codes from that Skrull, Bob, if they get the codes from him, everything is smooth. Gaia still gets off. She still is able to, like, you know, play it how she's been playing it. But since that guy pushed that button, which is not the button you want to push on Taylor, which is going to be, it's something I'm really looking forward to next episode, because it's going to be a situation in which, like, oh yeah, your daughter's dead. I knew she was a traitor. And now you have Talos feeling guilty because if he would have never called her, it's like he sacrificed his daughter life for human lives and what was going to happen to them. Because if he never calls her, she never does what she does, and she doesn't get killed. I know y'all don't think she's dead, but like that never happens. But since he did, now he has to take this guilt, which is going to like have him question a lot of other things. And like, okay, well, what am I doing this for now? Am I doing this strictly for revenge, or am I actually trying to help the humans? Like what is my purpose now? Now that the one thing that mattered to me most is gone. So I think that scene has so much to it. And Nick not knowing really what's going on. He's like, bro, like, you need to get on this. Like, what were you gonna do? And then obviously, you know, it went down how it went down. But like, I think this next episode is gonna be really good for Talos' character, and I think he's gonna have to tell Nick. He's gonna have to confess some stuff, even more things to Nick, which is probably gonna like either bring them closer together or farther apart. But the reason I think it's gonna go closer together because the situation is that much more dire now that they don't have anybody on the inside.
Okay, I like it, man. I like it. Again, y'all let us know what you think down in the comments. A few of you guys talking about these reptiles here have been tying the show into V. I don't know if y'all watched it, but I did. They canceled this show. I was so disappointed because I was loving it, but it was pretty good. I think it was like on ABC or some of. Did y'all ever watch that show, V?
No.
I was a child. I was a child when the original came out. So the one that you seen was a remake of the original. The original was hardcore. Yeah. The one on ABC was okay, but the original was that thing.
I got you. Okay. Yeah. Again, if you've heard of that show or watched it, you know, while it was here, let me know. But I was a fan of that, and they canceled it, unfortunately. What I was trying to do, let me see. V, the 80s didn't get canceled. The remake was lame. Damn, the remake was lame. I like the remake, but she's like,
that's what I was saying. Yeah, the 80s joint. Yeah,
I got you. I was trying to find the clip where Roddy actually called Fury Nick. But you know, it's just taking too long to find. But I think we all know what we're talking about here. If not, we'll talk about it at the end. We do have a $20 super chat though from Sam. Love the chat. Thank you. Actually, let me do this real quick for the dub real fast. You know, Y'all probably getting tired of me playing the video, but I'm not. Thank you so much, Sam. Love the chat. I think the dynamic between Fury and the Skrulls reflects similar history and the dynamics of oppressive relationships. Okay. Example, U.S. society and contributions of Black and Indigenous folks, but not acknowledging impact. Right on, man. I love the comparison there. Right on, right on. Yeah. Good observation. Good observation. Thank you. And thank you for the $20 super chat, man. That's thanks for contributing to the channel on that level. You know, I really, really do appreciate that. I really do. But let's keep on going. And so Fury or Gaia gets the code. They stop the bomb. And, you know, I wish she would have shot them in the head, but she didn't. But she meets up with Gravik, I think. Or no, they what happens next? What is this? Oh, they get rid of the bodies. And yeah, she meets up with Gravik and he shoots her. And this was annoying to me because I was just saying to myself, okay, the reason why is Marvel or these studios keep shooting themselves in the foot because we know she's not dead. Because for one, I know sometimes they put footage and trailers that don't end up in the final movie or the final product, but we saw her in a number of shots after this in the trailer. So I'm just like, okay, I haven't seen her in this scene from the trailer. So I know she's still alive. And I was just kind of saying to myself, I mean, I like the fact that Gravik killed her because that just shows us that this character is serious and he's not messing around. But why didn't he go over there and check the body, shoot twice, do a double, triple take? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if you're going to try to trick us to make us think that she's dead, can you like stretch it out a little bit more? One second, I'm coming. Am I tripping or are you feeling me, bro? How you feeling about this?
Once again, I understand where you're coming from, but he shot Maria and walked off dead. He shot her in a more accurate spot by heart. Looked at her dead. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Also, question real quick, B. Why did you want Gaia to shoot the people in the head? They ain't did nothing. They were captured.
No. My bad. If I said I wanted them to, I was being silly, but I was just kind of curious on what would have happened. Like if you know, if somebody unplugged the machine or, you know, just something happened, like, you know, what would happen to the Skrull that's, you know, out in the field or whatever. You know, I was just curious. I was being stupid for the most part, but
they got to save them. They got to save them. They got to save them because those people technically are innocent.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
That is true.
But
if they succeed, they can put them back in their seats to like kind of like shape things back to how they were.
I guess.
Definitely.
So you believe the death, basically.
Me, yes.
Yeah.
I think I do. Okay. I hope it's true. I hope it's true. I know I haven't thought about the trailers that much because I was a part of me that wanted to go back and watch the trailers to see like, oh, what other scenes is she in that I might have seen. But the reason I kind of want it to be true is because the thing I was talking about earlier, why I've been liking the show, it lets you know like the stakes are high. Don't get me wrong, Emilia Clarke character being killed off, that would kind of suck. But at the same time, it's like that really like lets you know like this is different from other stuff that Marvel has done. Like we're like putting characters in, but like anybody can get it type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Lamont, man, how'd you feel about the death, the death of Gaia and all that? You mean you team OneTake or team B Avery? Or team Lamont with your own assessment?
I'm team in the middle.
Okay.
Because 100% I know she's not dead. I mean, when they announced her for this show, I 100% said she was going to be a Super Skrull. So I knew she wasn't dead. And I think that she is going to be a device that brings Nick Fury and Talos together. Because I do believe that there's going to be fracturing more between these two individuals after this episode. Because Talos about to lose his mind thinking his daughter is dead. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know that she done went in there tampering with the Super Skrull serum. But she does. We've seen her tampering around in there doing stuff. And she already done told you about the way she feels about lying. So she's not dead. I do believe. I'm sorry. Even though she got shot in the heart, if you really want somebody dead, man, you keep spraying. I'm sorry, spray some more. One to the heart, one to the head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm with B. Avery. It would have been more graphic had they shot her in the head too, done something like that. But that could have also helped show just how powerful her Super Skrull serum is going to be to help elevate her when she comes back to reunite Fury and Talos when they're going to need her the most. Because the only way you can tie up this series and contain it without having to bring in the Avengers, you're going to have some bad Super Skrulls, and you at least got to have one good one. And I think she's definitely one of the good ones.
Right on, right on. Well, I'm staying on you, Lamont. You got something to say? One take.
Yeah. I'm just curious as to when did she learn about the Super Skrulls? And has she always known? Or remember, I think
last episode, I think she followed the white dude back there and she was snooping around.
Yeah. Last episode. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
and remember,
she took after what they left, she like went in there
and then remember she was on the computer and Gravik went in like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "Well, I was looking up the new." She found the DNA stuff, but she hit the control alt delete real quick. He was like, "Yeah, I'm looking up the new recruits for Beto or something like that." You know, because he was like, "What the hell are you doing? What are you looking at?" Something.
Okay.
You know,
and she was slick with it too.
Yeah.
She was slick with it.
Hit that window L or whatever. But yeah,
that's her best lie in the whole show.
Yeah. I'll give you that. Lamont, I'm staying with you, man. After the supposed death of Gaia, you know, Miss Skrull Booty gets the call and she goes to the safe deposit box to get a gun, and she answers the phone and it sounds like Roddy is on the phone. "I want to speak to Gravik. You're talking to me." And then they go to the credits. And also at the very beginning of the episode, where Nick Fury came down and they was in the house, towards the end of the conversation after she charged them up, the phone rang, and he was like, "Hey, don't let me bother you from answering the phone." And she answered the phone in front of Fury, and she was like, "Hey, I don't have the information yet. I'll get back to you at another time." Could that have been Skrull Roddy on the phone as well? But what do you think? I think it's pretty safe to say that Roddy's a Skrull, but we're gonna see. How you feeling about this, man? Was it satisfying you in the middle, or was it disappointing to you? This revelation right here.
I think that this was a pretty good cliffhanger, because technically we don't know which way she's going. Like it feels like it kind of feels like she's working against Fury. They've set it up like this is a woman scorn. Your ass couldn't make one simple phone call. I know you, Nick Fury, you got the best spy technology. Hell, you might can beam down here for a minute, give me some quick, 2-pump chumping and go back up there or something. And you ain't do it. So they pushing us toward the direction that she's trying to infiltrate Nick and whatever's going on with the rebellion. But I do think, and everything B. Avery is saying, I do think that probably was Roddy on that phone. That was Roddy on the first phone, Roddy on the second one, and she's getting that gun. But I think deep in her mind, she's having second thoughts about whatever orders is being pushed upon her now that her feelings have been reignited into Fury. And I can't wait to see how it all plays out. But I do think that for some reason, I could be wrong, I think she's going to die. I do. And I think that the same way we see Talos behaving about his daughter, we might see some of that same uncorked emotion from Nick Fury.
Okay. One take, man. How you feeling about the ending, man? The cliffhanger and Roddy and the speculation and all that. How you feeling, bro? How you feeling?
I definitely think that was Roddy. I like what Lamont said, where she's kind of like possibly was working against him. Now that could be a misdirect. That definitely could be a misdirect. But I do like the fact that where she's a little bit more torn about it now that he's back. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of want a scene to really like stamp Nick's feelings about her, because we see them together, and when he came back and put the ring on and so on and so forth. But I really want to see a scene to where you kind of let Samuel Jackson cook to where something happens to her, or he's confronted by the fact that like she betrayed him, or she wasn't really with. I really want him to cook and like kind of like lay into her, or like really get emotional about her.
Yeah.
Kind of to like hit home that relationship, because the only thing we know is that they're together and they've been together for a while. But I mean, you kind of wonder what, like, how much love is there. One, because he left and didn't come back, and now he's back, and we see him, and we just get like a quick kiss, and then don't get me wrong, they got great chemistry with one another. But I really want something to just hit home how much he actually cares about her and what her decision is, whether it's being with him or betraying him. Because if she's with him, I'm kind of like Lamont. If something happens to her, I really want to see Nick Fury's reaction, and like, because we so used to him being, and I think that's one thing about this series, we're so used to him being that just cool character. I kind of want him to get out of that for certain people. You know, we teased it with Maria, but now if this person who was his wife, something happens to her as well, kind of want to see him like, he's lost a lot, and we've never ever just really seen him fumble. I want to see that. It's Samuel L. Jackson. Let that man cook.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Okay.
Damn,
I got you, man.
He ain't Russell Wilson. Let the man cook. So, B, I got a question for both of y'all.
What's up?
One of the big storylines with Secret Invasion was the Super Skrulls getting into it with the Fantastic Four. And actually, one Skrull was able to mimic all four of the Fantastic Four's power in one person. Do you think that somehow or another this is going to tie into the Fantastic Four, or maybe they'll tie the Fantastic Four at the end of this? Because I can easily see them doing something like that, maybe introducing one of the members of the Fantastic Four here to let us know that they might be going in that direction. Questions for both of y'all.
The answer is no. I don't think the Fantastic Four is going to be involved, but that's why I have you on here, Lamont, because we think the same. Because you beat me by 7 milliseconds. Because I was about to ask y'all about pretty much the same question. I was just going to substitute Fantastic Four with the Avengers. I don't think the Fantastic Four is going to show up, or that's maybe tie in later on in the MCU. But I don't know, man. I was going to ask y'all, do y'all think that the Avengers are going to come through and try to kick some ass or whatever? Because they may be necessary. We already know that they playing with the machine. Gravik does have the extremist technology in his hand, and we did see in the trailers that they one of them has the group powers as well. And so I don't know if War Machine gonna be showing up, because right now it's looking like there's a Skrull. What other Avengers could pop up? Okay, T'Challa's passed away, he's dead. Iron Man is dead. Captain America is dead. Thor, Anthony Mackie, Falcon, and Hawkeye. Black Widow's dead. Guardian's not gonna show up. So maybe Hawkeye, Falcon, or Thor. I don't think Shang-Chi gonna pop up.
Thor's not showing up either.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't know.
Thor's not gonna show up.
We're gonna get Hawkeye or
we
Falcon.
Short from Avengers, bro.
I mean,
Hulk not gonna show up.
I mean, don't nobody want to steal Hawkeye nor Falcon's power. Nobody's gonna steal that. We could see them introduce.
They might need to do some trials for the Avengers, man.
Is that what now?
Like,
you said something. I didn't hear what you said. Some trials.
Maybe, or we could see them introduce one or two mutants in this thing, because the Skrulls was able to, at one point in time, copy some of the mutants' powers.
Yeah, and I don't know why I didn't think of that either. Captain Marvel, they are tied. I mean, Captain Marvel definitely knows who the Skrulls are. So
definitely,
and Nick Fury should have her on speed dial or whatever.
He definitely.
Hey, we getting our ass kicked, you know.
And a Skrull can't mimic her power.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's one power they can't mimic.
I don't know, man. Nah, we ain't gonna get no blade. I don't know, man. I just kind of feel like if we did get it, it would be rushed. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't see the Avengers just popping in here. We're here to save the day. I mean, I'm not saying it can't work. I just don't see it right now. You know, like.
Well, I'm not saying that have them save the day. I'm just saying have a cliffhanger where maybe when the dust settles, an Avenger shows up to say why we didn't get called, we could have helped, something like that. You know, they're going to contain this story with the people we've already seen for the most part, but they're going to make these stakes high as hell because this is feeling like a high stakes show. This makes me feel like Winter Soldier a little bit with the way they're playing. The crisis of the world hangs in the balance, and Nick Fury ain't been able to save the world by himself ever. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm saying I might see them sprinkle in like a Reed Richards to say, do you need me to help track Skrulls? Or, you know, maybe Wolverine pops in. I heard you got a problem and it needs solving. Some shit like that. Something.
That would be crazy. Lamont, that's the end of the episode, man. What was your final thoughts? Do you have some final thoughts you want to let the people know out there?
No, that's my final thought, people. I guess if I had to say anything else, the ratings for this show have been really, really low. I'm curious to know why, other than maybe the other shows have disappointed people. But this is how it should have started from jump. Like this should have been before WandaVision to get people amped because this feels like a huge threat, and we are sitting here debating how are they going to contain this story with just Nick Fury and Talos. So. People, tell your friends this one is good, it's worth watching, it's definitely worth your time, and let's get these numbers up so we can get more of this type of Marvel content.
I agree. One take. What are your final thoughts, sir?
I wanted to touch on a point of like the one I brought up about we'll see like the Fantastic Four. The reason I'm right with you, B. I'm gonna say no on that simply because all the stuff we got going on with Kang be more tied to them and like the quantum verse and all those type of things. I think that's more their realm. Don't get me wrong. Now, what I will say is that for this is going, I kind of want this story to like linger for a while, though.
Me too.
I kind of want it to.
I do too.
I don't really want a conclusion. This show or even like the next 3 or 4 movies. I kind of want this to even be going on during like Kang Dynasty. I want this to kind of like be a continuous thing until this inevitably the big thing, you know, that we have the real big movie to where by that point we have introduced other characters, other powers, the mutants, the Fantastic Four, all of those things. But at the same time, we already still have these. I don't want this does not seem like a story that gets solved in 6 episodes. There's a million Skrulls.
Right.
No obviously, I think there's going to be a way where they can identify them.
Right.
But I want the Skrulls to be on point to like have that, like have somebody in the room where they're making like the Skrull identifiers so they can like sabotage all of that. It's just. I just feel like there's too much with this story, and the feeling that I get watching it, not knowing who's an ally, you know, who's a Skrull, all of that is just too good to waste over 2 seasons or a season and 2 movies. I just hope this really continues like for the future of Marvel.
I got you. I feel you, bro. If y'all want a good Secret Invasion story and you have Disney Plus, which I'm sure you do, check out Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes. This show started in 2010 to 2012. I'm still pissed that they canceled it because they wanted to come out with a show that was more like the movies. And they came out with Avengers Assemble. That cartoon sucks, but this one is good. They had 2 seasons.
They had a few good episodes on Avengers Assemble. A few.
Which one is better?
Overall, the first one was better.
Okay,
overall.
By light years.
Yeah.
But but check it out right there. But yeah, guys, that is the episode. That is all that we have for today for Secret Invasion episode 3. Title Betrayed. I will be here same place, same time next week for episode 4. I will be having Nagier as my guest with Big Gold Belt Media. If One Take and Lamont would like to join me, you guys are more than welcome. All you got to do is let me know and you will get the link. But, you know, no pressure if you're busy. Eventually, I will have an audio-only version for this broadcast up with buzzsprout.com. I am on all of these platforms that you see right here, as well as SoundCloud as well. Since we're also talking about comic book stuff, me and One Take did a spoilers review for The Flash. You can go check that out. Also, we have a review for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Before I pass to Lamont and let him make his announcements, hit a 1 in the chat if you're subscribed to all 3 of us. Hit a 1 in the chat. Hit a 2 in the chat if you subscribe to all of us on YouTube and social media, because our handles on the screen. But One Take, I thank you for being here, bro. Do you have any announcements out there that you would like to let the good people know what you got going on in your world?
I'm chilling right now. I'm just enjoying being on other people's channels at the moment. I actually did a video with Tyra earlier today that's up on her channel right now. Tyra has Struggle Reviews, in which me and her had a very, very, very intense debate about the movie The Watch. Y'all go over there and check that out. It was pretty entertaining hour of content from us. So yeah, I'm just guest starring on everybody else's channel right now.
Okay, now before I'm because I have my own announcement as well. Hit a 5 in the chat if you like martial arts content. 5 in the chat if you like martial arts content. Lamont, I'm coming to you, sir. Thank you for being here, my brother. You're welcome back anytime. What do you have going on your channel, sir?
Y'all, it's not a lot going on my channel right now. I've got a couple of things going on that kind of preempt me from making content. So I'm kind of doing like One Take. I'm enjoying being on other people's channels. I'm putting up 1 video a week. Me and Larry's doing our trending topics show where we cover politics, stocks, current events. We're going to be trying to do that every Tuesday at noon. And next month, at the end of the month, I'm going to be starting a brand new show where I'm going to be in the studio that I partner with a movie company. I'm going to be in their studio in Denver, and we're going to start doing my own little Life Games talk show that's going to have celebrities. We're talking to Russell Wilson. We're talking to some of the Denver Nuggets. We're going to also have some people that are going to be on Power that's coming up, and we might even get some of the folks from The Chi. So y'all just stay tuned, man. I'm going to try to bring you guys those interviews, get you guys engaged with that, and see if I can make a fan connection between the stars and the people that love the stars and grow this audience of mine before I start dropping my own movies next year.
Alrighty, man. I appreciate that. And last but not least, myself, guys, subscribe, watch all my videos 50 times each. But on my channel, I'm going to continue to do everything that I'm already doing. But I'm also stepping up the martial arts coverage on my channel because that's my favorite content. Look at my homepage. I got a playlist for martial arts movies and also Warrior seasons 1, 2, and 3. They just dropped the first 3 episodes of Warrior season 3 last Thursday, and I am covering that on my channel. If you're in, so I got a spoilers review for season 1. I got a spoilers review for season 2. And I got my episode recaps, episode 1 of season 3, episode 2 of season 3, and episode 3 of season 3, and also the live recap. You know what I'm saying? Also, guys, in addition with me covering Warrior, each week I will be reviewing a movie from the Haya website. It's a martial arts channel or website where it's just nothing but martial arts content. This is what it looks like right here. I have a subscription, and so I'm gonna be covering Warrior each week, and also a movie review from this. And the first movie that's up on my channel right now is Young Yip Man. So if you're into martial arts, you can go check that out. And the next movie, this will be I'm finishing editing this tonight. The Grandmaster of Kung Fu is the next film that I'm gonna be reviewing. That's gonna be up on tomorrow as well. And I'm going live tomorrow too for episode 4 of Warrior. So I'm going to step up the martial arts content. So subscribe if you want to check all of that out as well. But guys, again, I thank you, Sam. Great discussion. You know, need a new combat guy. Yeah, part 2 came out not so long ago. But guys, again, I just want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery. That's Lamont. That's One Take. And that's just our opinion. Peace out. And Elliot's going live at 7:30, guys. So make sure you check him out as well. Real quick. Hold on. Yeah. Here's his show. It's going to start in in 5 minutes, and I'm gonna get something to eat and check him out too. But again, guys, I'm Lamont. No, I'm not Lamont. I'm B. Avery. That's Lamont. That's OneTakeBigDog, and that's just our opinion. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.